The first question, and to start this discussion, I will start with Elena, and Elena has a more vertical startup, and I mean it's focused on something more practical and something more less broad. And I would like you to explain why you choose such an approach, and what are you doing to explain a little bit for us, and how does it impact the scaling up and growing?
Good almost evening, everyone. I'm Elena, and I'm the founder of HealthTech. We've built a platform for self-therapy. And the way I started and why I chose this subject, I started from my own problem. I found therapy quite expensive. I was living in London when I started the company, and a therapy session over there with a top psychologist that I desired to talk to was around £250. And during COVID, I decided to do license in therapy myself. So while studying, I realized there is a structure to therapy. Therapy has a protocol, and we've built a platform where psychologists, top professionals, can share these protocols to an audience that can't reach their services yet. You know, usually these top professionals, they have a long waiting list. And on our platform, they can access their know-how for a much cheaper price, but also whenever they feel like they need it, without waiting 2-3 months to reach their agenda. So we've started from our own problem, and I think this is why we've chosen to build this vertical, like to go in a vertical way in this industry.
How does it influences the scaling up, being very vertical, and how does it influences developing the startup by being more vertical and less broad?
Considering we are a tech startup, it's good to start on a vertical, on a niche, because if you solve very well a problem that's on a niche, you build trust with your customer audience, and also you've built enough capacity to be able to scale. Like you cannot go, at least with an innovative product, you cannot go from first point to scaling up and going horizontally. You first have to go vertically, build trust, solve a real problem for a specific audience, and after that replicate that model that already works on different other group audiences.
Very much. I would like to ask Traian, and thank you, Traian, for also accepting on such short notice joining our discussion here today. And maybe you can share a little bit more about your experience, what you are doing with Cindy, and why you decided to start with such a broad approach and don't focus on a, let's say, niche.
Hi everyone. So I guess everyone knows me by doing acceleration at XY, or most recent, I'm CEO of a startup called Sirius. So we do automation in the with your invoices and spending. Truth to be told, I was not expecting to be on the stage today. It was quite a short thing. Only a few people know about my stealth project, which I'm working together with my brother from Microsoft. It's called Cindy, and as Elena mentioned in her story, it all started with a problem. My problem started last year, I guess it was, this period, I guess it was April, May. I was diagnosed with cancer, actually. So, and I had to go through therapy and then through operation. And then I suddenly understood that hey, there is a totally new world for me, undiscovered before this case. I mean, it's not something I would like to recommend everyone to go through this. Yeah, but to be honest, it was a good opportunity for me to understand that, okay, I'm 33 years old. I'm living my life in IT sectors. I'm a good person knowing how IT works, and still medical system is so shit in Moldova. Like, I want to say that the doctors are amazing. Like the doctors who are like working their time in the hospitals are amazing, and they're overworking sometimes. The problem with the medical system is that there is still at this day in 2025, MedPark cannot communicate with a central hospital. And ReproMed doesn't know what's happening in vitro and so on and so forth. So to this date, in 2025, there is no central system that connects all the medical facilities. So basically, you need to have a Carticica Medicale in all of these hospitals, and there is no one central place where you have all your medical files. And then if you want to go to Italy, for instance, and you want to have a second opinion, what do you gonna do? You're gonna translate all the Romanian files in Italian and go to them and spend like hundreds of euros on that and so on and so forth. And then together with my brother, we thought, okay, let's just solve this problem because it's big. It will actually touch every person because everyone has a time limit, right? So there will be a time when everybody will have to face this situation. So we created a language model that actually understands every type of medical data you give it, whether it's an in vitro analysis, whether it's a RT scan, or it's a prescription from some doctor. So it connects all the medical files in one specific place. And it's an assistant that talks to you 24/7 and tells you, okay, in 3 months you need to do a check. In 3 months you need to go to your dentist office. In 6 months you need to do this and this and this. So that's what we are building in the stealth mode. So far we have very good start in terms of our model. It works very well, and we are having some partnerships already with some established hospitals in Moldova to connect. So I guess we're gonna be public in September. So commenting on Elena's space in my case as well, and it's a recommendation for everyone who starts a startup, start with your own problem and then try to do it. I don't do it for money. I do it for the hope of solving it for other people who might get into the same position as me do.
Thank you very much for accepting to join and tell us about your stealth project. I'm happy that there are such projects in Moldova, and I hope you are going to scale. And thinking about scaling and taking a broader approach, what do you envision that are the challenges maybe and differences from taking a narrow approach, comparing self-talk to taking a more broader approach?
Again, it's Elena is solving her problem, I'm solving mine. I'm not thinking about business models right now. So what I'm thinking about, okay, how can I digitalize all the patients' documentation easily? So everybody can have it online in one secure place, and then can actually access to it and then summarize it for other doctors. So I'm not thinking about, okay, here is some profit market here. No, it's not for me. I'm talking to patients, I'm talking to doctors, I'm going to them and say, hey, I had this problem, do you have it as well? Yeah, I have it. Okay, then we're trying to solve it. So I'm not trying to think about in terms of business model canvas. So I'm trying just to tackle it as a societal problem as a whole.
Alexandru, you work as a neurosurgeon doctor, yes, and your startup is more vertical. Can you tell us what moved you to start working on this project, and what are you doing so people here know a little bit more about the project and how it helps solve your problems?
Thank you for the introduction. It's hard to think of neurosurgery as something vertical, as something horizontal. So in neurosurgery, like in some other specialties, but less, we have some problems. One of these is the visualization of the imaging of a patient. And we have built the system. We're trying to build it and to perfect it, an entire ecosystem, an ally for a neurosurgeon to improve the surgical outcome. So how we did do it? We created software, augmented reality software, so we can plan neurosurgical intervention and also use the solution during the surgery for better accuracy, faster operating times, better outcomes, and obviously happier patients.
In your case, who is your main client in the future for your startups? It's more doctors, yes, like, and hospitals, and developing this startup in Moldova, yes, that very technical startup. What are your challenges here locally, and how do you envision, what do you need in order to grow and develop it?
Yes, this solution is for doctors, but like in any other hospital, usually the hospitals buys it, even if the end user is the doctor. Obviously, the doctor can go to the administration and ask for the solution for their sake of results. But the challenges is that we are not, our infrastructure is not ready for the solution. So we're trying to find something outside of it. Like you know, in any startup, we have problems finding investment or partnership collaborations with different people that can solve some of our challenges pretty easily. So we're pretty close to country for this.
Your startup is a little bit more challenging, I believe, in acquiring customers and having hospitals pay for the product, and it's very different from the startups we have here from Elena and Traian that are more direct to consumer. And I believe being a very technical startup, of course, you need a lot of funding and help. And we have today here Diana from EIT Health, having heard and having been engaged in different communities in Moldova, Ukraine, and Eastern Europe, can you tell us more about the projects you are running and how you can help the startups? How can we engage and how can we help these people develop better products?
Thank you, and hello everyone. First of all, I'm very delighted to be in the company of such great innovators today. And speaking about health, I would like to outline the importance of this field because either you're a founder of the startup or clinician or maybe just a patient, every one of us in one way or another, we are connected to the health. And being supported by the right community can make a real difference. In IT Health, in 15 years of our existence, we already supported more than 2,500 startups. It was around 450 startups only in 2023. And this is not just a figure, not just a number, it is a signal how fast the innovation in this health tech care is evolving. And what is important and what is a unique proposition of the EIT Health, it is a rare and very powerful combination of the startup scene, of the corporates, of the academia, and of the public health institutions. And in our knowledge and innovation community, we can provide startups with tailored mentoring support, with the validation support, with the connections with international stakeholders, which is super valuable at the beginning of their journey, entrepreneurial journey. Also, it's not just about funding, it's about the right connections and support at each stage of their journey. So in the EAT Health, we are looking not just for innovative solutions. We are looking for trusted, scalable solutions and which have the real need for the patients. And in terms of our support, again, depending on your needs, we can propose different programs. But what can be interesting for you, especially for the early stage startups, it's EAT Jumpstarter program. It's a pre-acceleration program for the early stage startups, even for idea holders. And we can say that this is the kindergarten for the startups, where they can receive support, 360-degree support at each stage, and literally can build their startups like playing a Lego set. So we provide them with everything in the beginning, starting from knowledge, business templates, expertise, and finishing the first funding. So yeah, I really recommend you to pay your attention at this initiative and apply to it.
Thank you very much for being with us here today, and also for the work you are doing. It's very important for us to receive the help you are providing. And also, I know that you also have programs for medical regulations. For example, Dr. Alexandru is in a startup that is more technical and regulated as a medical device, and I know that some of the programs that you provide can be really benefic to such kind of startups, and especially here in Moldova, where we have much less consultancy and access to people that had this experience in building a device and having it let's say, being registered as a medical device at the European level and getting maybe the CE or FDA mark, I don't know. And at the same time, I know that Elena was already working with, I believe, EAT Health, yes? If I'm not, or similar programs, or can you tell us a little bit about how these programs helped you and how the startups can take the best of what these programs can offer?
Sure. So we as a startup, we benefited from several programs. Few from the US, one from the European Union, and another one, and few from here. Actually, we also we've benefited from Traian's acceleration programs. We talk to their mentors on a constant basis. We've been together with Technovator in Silicon Valley at events. So first, I think it takes an ecosystem to build a startup, and I think we are one of those startups that the Moldovan ecosystem is growing at an international level. Now, the way we benefited, I would start with the first program that we attended. We've been in Silicon Valley in a pre-acceleration program from Draper University. And there we've tested our solution. We did not build an app yet, but we've tested our proof of concept with the people in the program. Also, we got our first clients from intros from that program. We developed our global vision there because we got exposed to the Silicon Valley mindset while being in that acceleration program. And also, just being a part of a community of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs have a different mindset, and talking and being connected to them, it's very important for the mental health of the founder. And also for the success of the company, because you can skip so many mistakes if you just talk to another founder. So that was the benefit from that first community in Silicon Valley. And when we moved back to Moldova, we were very happy about the ecosystem over here. For example, from the Startup Moldova community, we got introduced our Chief of Science. So we've got a Chief of Science because someone from Startup Moldova introduced us to a potential mentor, and they introduced us to the future Chief of Science of Self-Talk. So it's a huge impact that acceleration programs and programs like you're mentioning have on startups. What I think it's really important for startups is to be able to take and know what they need and ask for that. Because what I noticed in our region specifically is that people are afraid to ask. Or they even afraid to knock on the door and say, hey, I need this. Do you know someone that does this thing? For example, I needed a CTO, and I think I've messaged half of my LinkedIn connections, and maybe everyone got tired of my messages. Do you know a developer? Do you know a CTO? Do you know a psychologist? Do you know someone like this? And I think there are resources available. What's needed from the startup founder is this courage and maybe shameless attitude to just go ask for help.
Thank you very much for your inputs, and I also want to ask you, in your startup being more narrow, do you think, for example, to integrate, or how do you envision, for example, me as a patient or a user, I have the interaction with your app or your product, yes? And at the same time I have another interaction with Traian's app and product, and for example, I would like for your app to know maybe that I have some physical conditions, and maybe these physical conditions influence my mental health, yes? Or vice versa. My mental health can influence some of my physical conditions that are non-existent, but because of my mental health, I feel that I have a physical condition, yes? Do you envision any, let's say, development in the future, or collaboration or other opportunities? How do you see the development of this?
Yeah, first, there is no mind and body separated. In medicine right now, there is a new trend among doctors that says that the body should not be called only body, it should be called mind-body. So they want to transition from the word body to the word mind-body, because they are not separated. And definitely psychology has to be taken into consideration when treating the body. There are lots of research right now showing the link and showing some patterns, how some psychological challenges impact the health of the body. They should come together. We look for an integrative approach. And I hope solution like ours, solution like Traian was doing, with a solution like Anna's of IP integration, can be in the future united and work together. And I truly believe, in regards to the topic of the presentation of vertical and or horizontal products, I think it's good to start with a vertical product that solves a problem in a very niche way and building trust on that solution, and after that uniting them through an horizontal product that facilitates the exchange of data. So it helps us better take decisions about human health, about other problems that we are having as humans.
Much. I'd like to ask Traian what is his vision on this question, data exchange, and you are more into a platform that has more data, I believe, and how do you see the development of this product in regards with exchanging data with other products, or maybe the future electronic health system that we are going to have some time soon in Moldova?
So my take to what's happening in the future is that we're going to be connected with some digital device, wish it or not. For instance, I have a device called Whoop on my wristband. It actually calculates my sleep and my blood pressure and so on and so forth. And they're connected to Apple Health. And then there is Cindy, where you could actually connect with all your medical reports or whatever doctor prescriptions. So I guess in the future, what we're gonna see, we'll see lots of startup ideas, products that would be interconnected, because by combining all the data, the patient will be better off. And let's look at the world in what's gonna happen in the next 10, 15 years. So if we look at the Europe or US or Western civilization, we are getting older. So we're getting older. You see in Germany, it's people are getting to 80, 90 years old. We see it everywhere in the world. And when people get older, they will get to be in this critical space in between, let's say, 55 and 90 or 100, where they'll illness will be part of their life. They'll have just to sustain it in some way, So that's number one. Number two is like, I think we didn't solve prevention at all. I mean, we didn't solve. So that's what I see right now in the medical system is people, including me, we get into the doctor's office when it's just a bit too late or nearly too late, you know. But with technology, we could actually prevent it. We could actually discover sicknesses like 1 year, 2 years before they can happen. And it can actually impact lots of lives. And all this can be done by data, by sharing data between devices and apps. So Cindy, again, by the way, you can check it right now. It's available on internet. It's C from Christina, E, India, Natalia, Demetra, and Ionela, yes. From Cinderella, Cindy.md, you can check it right now. You could upload whatever medical documentation. It already scans it and makes a report of it. And it's based on the idea that more data, the better is for the patient. And I guess, like, if you'd ask the doctor here, more data to the doctor, which is precise and clear for him, better decision-making on the side of the doctor. So we have a win-win situation, whether it's a patient or a doctor, where data can be really life-saving.
Alexandru, same question regarding the integration, and also I would like to be more specific. For example, you have a medical intervention, and how much the information you know about the patients can influence the decisions that you make, not only about maybe the data you get from imaging and the data that you get during the operation, but also the data of his life information. And also, do you have now access, or what are the challenges for you as a doctor today in getting this information? And do you envision somehow Argus AI using maybe in the future this kind of information in order to help you make better decisions?
Not sure quietly how this information will help Argus, maybe now, maybe in the future, how somehow will be put together. But regarding what Traian said, this is a very big problem with all this documentation spread everywhere, all the information for the patient. You need to pick something from there, something from there. And for neurosurgery, this is extremely important. Just a simple example is the patient going into surgery, and the medical doctor forgot telling us that he took an aspirin. And we need a 5 days break between the last aspirin and a surgery. So you're doing brain surgery, if you don't know that, and you have bleeding after the surgery, and you have a patient, comatose patient, only because the family doctor forgot to add it, to tell someone or the patient, because not all patients know. They said, I took some pill, but I don't know why. And we don't have this information. So every detail, what kind of disease the sister had, what kind of baby she born or the wife had, and all the information, all little details. So it's extremely important, especially for such specialty. And not only, it's for all.
Regarding the information we have now available in our country is quite limited. We don't have an electronic health record yet that will facilitate the exchange of information from hospital to hospital, or maybe even from app to electronic health records. So we can maybe input information from private and different products, or get information from electronic health records to different products as Cindy. And this is a specific challenge for our country, and maybe Diana can help us, let's say, brainstorm how we as a community can engage and create a better development environment for us, and how maybe you can engage the government and state, or maybe you've seen some examples in different countries. I know that you are responsible for Moldova, Ukraine. In Ukraine there is a quite well developed, I believe, electronic health system. We are lacking here today a little bit. What would be your inputs about the importance of community in developing this environment?
Yeah, that's a great question, but I would like also to say that we in the IT Health identified the main fields which are super relevant for us and which have a great potential plus needs for the patient. So it was medical digital devices, cross-border open data for health, which is super resonates with the startups which are presented today, and it's mental health. And in terms of community and implementation of all these digital instruments in government, of course, I think the crucial role plays the government of the country. Yes, so this is the main, and I'm sure and I'm confident that in Moldova you have innovators, you have startups who is able to implement all these innovations and projects in life. And in terms of maybe you have concerns that not all the generation will accept it, again, based on the experience of Ukraine, it was... There were such concerns, but in the end everyone is satisfied because it simplified the lives of the citizens. It's much easier to get the assignment to the doctor using the e-health system that we use now in Ukraine, and even for doctors it's much easier to operate in such instruments. So first of all it comes from the government, and of course then I think people will support it and will benefit from it.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure yet if there is a wide community of doctors. Like I think there is a lack of doctors, of bioengineers, of nurses that are involved in or taking a more active role in startups, in building products. And I would like to ask Alexandru, why do you think there is such a maybe big difference? You are here at these events, but in these events we have quite few doctors generally. We have quite few nurses involved and very few bioengineers. And speaking with bioengineers, I know they have a lot of difficulties. Maybe can you give us a suggestion or idea? You're also the founder of With Her Health Association. What is the importance of such association for medical sector?
I think that we have a solo number of doctors and nurses, mainly for two reasons. One is they don't have so much time, or even they have time, they don't know how to delegate. And the second is they don't know about this. Because after such events like today, I get always messages from, I heard that you had on television, I have an idea. And they come to me. Why do they come to me? Why? I mean, now there's a reason they come to me, because we have an association. And it's pretty reasonable. But before that, okay, you have that idea, you need to find an IT guy, you need to find a finance guy, I don't know what, depending what you need. But that's why we created this association, so we can make an awareness that we can bring talented people together, because there's a lot of talented doctors, but they don't know they have an opportunity to talk. So they can share their ideas, great ideas, and make this possible. Because some of the doctors, I mean quite a lot of them, they have a good idea, and when they try to apply it, they had a lot of challenges, or they were stopped by higher layers of, I don't know how to say it, authority. So I hope with this association we can bring them easily together and share with all the tools necessary to bring their ideas into reality.
Thank you very much for participation in today's panel and for inputs and being open to tell about your experience and how you started and you built your startups, and also thank you, Traian, for being open to make public the product that you are working for quite some time in stealth. And I hope that with the help of Diana and the organization as EIT Health and the support of such organization as Startup Moldova, you can build a bigger community and help more innovators from the medical field come engage with us and build products that literally is going to change how we live and the quality of our life. Thank you very much for attending this event, and have a nice evening.
Thank you very much. Exceptional panel here. I think health is something that concerns us all, and we're super happy to see that something is happening to make our life easier and so that we can fight our battles as best as we can. Thank you very much. So now we bring this stage to a close, but first I want to thank all the organizers for putting up together all this dynamic event that's happening here, the speakers for their amazing insights, and of course to all of you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your engagement.